broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh,
just gonna let it breathe a little bit on this one.
He picked a good song.
He did.
It was a weird episode. Hey, everybody, welcome to another Stalker After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, AFTERBUZZ TV. You can go to AFTERBUZZTV.com, find some fun stuff is there as well. Comment on the YouTube below. You might be watching live there right now. Subscribe to the iTunes podcast. Subscribe at iTunes, SoundCloud. We're on all these things. I am Cameron Lewis at The Only Camshaft on Twitter, joined as always
I'm Jade Howard. You can find me on Twitter at RealJadesWorld.
And I'm Anastacia Waller. You can find me on Instagram at Anastacia Waller.
Pushing the Instagram tonight.
Pushing the gram.
Look it out. So tonight, episode 17, Fun and Games. This was an interesting show tonight, you guys, because we kind of went away from the normal path of doing a couple of cases in an episode.
Right.
It kind of moved away from the serial, or is it serial? Or
Stalking.
procedural.
Oh.
It moved away from the procedural format tonight a little bit, which I was kind of happy about.
Yeah.
So initial thoughts tonight, Jade, hit me.
My first impression was, oh, this is finally getting good. It finally got, like, in regards to the storyline, like, I've been waiting so long for us to finally really dig deep into, like, the Ray and Perry episode or storyline. And I've said before, they're going to have an episode where it'll finally focus on just this. And I've been waiting for so long, and it finally happened. And I'm so happy because it was so good.
Yeah, I will say I like the show normally. I do. That's the reason we do this show.
Because you're a fan.
However,
right.
Tonight was by far my favorite episode, I think.
I think so too.
Because it wasn't just about the jumpy jumps. Anastacia, what do you think?
I agree. I think exactly the word you used, good. I feel like we finally got to the good stuff with this episode. And I wish that we didn't have to wait 17 episodes to kind of get to the meat of who Beth is. I feel like maybe they could have weaved this in a little sooner.
Yeah.
And we pretty much predicted kind of some of the things that were going to happen based on the end of last week's episode. But I feel like this is finally the grit of the show of Beth and getting to really know her. So I enjoyed the episode.
Yeah, we saw a lot
so
of Beth
much
tonight.
Went down.
/ Michelle. And you know what? It doesn't always... This is a good testament, I think, for television viewers out there. It doesn't always have to be jumpy. It doesn't always have to be scary on the surface level. Tonight, it was like, oh, God, it was creepy in a sense, but I don't know. I just liked how the story moved tonight.
I loved hearing Beth's backstory too.
Yeah.
How Ray got to that point, how their relationship got to that point, because I was honestly thinking, okay, Beth, all that we've seen of her is this really smart detective. She's really put together. So in my mind, I was always wondering, how could you even fall for someone that has those qualities? And so this episode, we got that, you know, she was young, she was naive. And then I'm like picturing Beth being young and naive and like going through. And I kind of liked that too, that I was romanticizing over carefree Beth or free spirit Beth.
I hope you can relate to that. Like, I hope that you haven't been stalked before, because that's not a good thing. Okay.
Honey, it's the story of my life.
I could relate
Jade.
I could relate to the bad boy aspect. Remember when she said, "Oh, he was a bad boy"? I mean, every girl's kind of attracted to the bad boy.
We all go through that phase, and then we realize that bad boy is not.
Right.
That's a phase.
And bad boy
keep it
was
as a
psycho
phase.
boy.
Yeah, psycho boy too.
I've not been there myself. But
What? I'm sorry. Wait, Cam, you totally seem like somebody that was like a bad boy and is a bad boy.
You guys can tell if you're watching, listening now. By the way, use the hashtag ABTV Stalker to become part of the conversation here on AfterBuzz TV. So tonight we started with a little recap, the first recap they've done of previously on Stalker.
Yes, and they needed to do one because
They
I think
needed it.
anybody that would have watched this show for the first time, they would have changed the channel. But I feel like when you were watching it, everything summed up. You were like, okay, I remember this, remember that.
Right.
So when they jumped into the storyline for this episode, you could really follow it easily. I wasn't questioning anything. The only thing I'm questioning is what Ray needed that house for when he killed the real estate agent who just wanted to heat up.
Maybe we'll
his
find out
pizza.
more about that. We'll find out more about that, I think, maybe next week.
No. The real estate agent was dating Tracy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not gather that.
Yeah, Carl Stevens was dating Tracy.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they said that. They said.
I was glued to the TV, Anastacia.
Wait, the really fancy house
Where
with
were
the
we?
guy?
Where were we when that happened?
Yeah, because they were like, "What's the connection with Carl Stevens?" And he had started dating Tracy. And remember, Tracy was talking about it at work about the guy that she was dating, and she had been seen. That was the connection.
Oh.
I have some really
By
great
the
hosts,
way-
you guys. They're so professional.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so basically, Cam and I went to go check to see if there was popcorn in
No,
the
that
back.
did not happen. We were glued. We were glued.
Look, I'm trying to get us out of this sticky situation, and you're not helping much.
We ended last week with the scene with Amanda getting bashed against a car,
Yes.
which was terrifying. And were you guys
No, I found that to be
expecting
very
her-
pleasant. I love that when
That was my
people's
favorite
heads
scene.
get bashed into cars.
were you guys expecting her at the beginning of tonight's episode to be alive?
I thought she was alive. Last week, I was like, "There's no way she's a mother. You can't kill a mom."
Jade?
I forgot what I thought.
Focusing
you
on the
thought she
popcorn.
was dead.
So yeah, like we were saying earlier, we find out more backstory about Beth when she talks to Amanda at the hospital. Yeah.
I remember. I did not think she was going to die.
You didn't think she was going to
because
die.
it would have
The mom,
thwarted the
yeah.
attention going into that episode from Beth.
Yeah.
You know,
And Ethan.
Yeah.
I didn't think she died.
What do you think at this scene, your initial thoughts? Jack comes in, says Ethan is spending the night. Do you think that Amanda, because she's forced to lean on him more right now because she's in the hospital, do you think that is going to translate to a better, deeper, more meaningful relationship later on?
I think that they're developing one now.
Yeah.
So I don't see why not. I don't know if it's going to be a love storyline. I think it's one of those things that wouldn't really manifest into the second season.
Yeah.
For the writers to decide what route they want, what direction they want to go in. I feel like it can go either way. It can go
can see
him
that.
going with Amanda and starting a family, or it can go with him and Beth, and building up to something towards the middle or end of season 2.
Yeah, I
for
could
sure.
definitely see that.
I absolutely think it's another chance for Jack to prove himself to Amanda without really trying. And I think it can help develop into something romantic.
Look at you. Having faith and love over here.
Are you pitching it? Are you hoping it happens? Or do you just think that that's going to happen?
Well, I secretly want him and Beth to have a thing.
Yeah. Don't we all? Don't we all?
But I would like a family to be together, though. I'll say that.
Let's be honest. I
Look at all
want
these
me and
values
Beth to
this
be
girl
together.
has over here. Check her out.
I know. Classic Anastacia.
I know. And I'm like, let him be single. Let him live life.
Yet another hotel scene, crappiest hotel in the universe, and we see Ray and Perry.
Did you say hotel?
Motel.
Motel,
Sorry,
honey.
motel. You're right. That is very true. There's a
That
difference.
is-
Yeah.
We're like, hold on.
Perry,
We know.
increasingly uncomfortable with what's happening. Like, very uncomfortable.
Super. He's just waiting to exit
And
stage left.
When are you going to learn, by the way, that Ray is not going to be okay with you asking where he's going?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yes.
And he
Stop
had-
asking.
But I felt like you knew it was over for Perry when he asked them again in this episode. You said, oh, Perry, you just want to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you this was going to happen. We were going to start feeling really bad for Perry.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Well, I think because now you've realized, or you start to realize that for him it was really all just a mind game, and there was no intention of really hurting anybody. From those pictures that he drew of Beth, that's what made them want to put him in jail. I think they realized that I personally think that I realized that I don't think he meant any real harm. I think it was just a mind game for him, nothing more. And it definitely caught up with him. And I think he was starting to experience the faults in his actions, which did make me pity him, but also made me feel that he could have turned around. He could have gotten help.
Yeah.
And fixed.
Yeah.
Part of me liked to watch him suffer a little bit in the beginning.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, I was like, ha, but then now I feel bad.
Y'all are evil.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Just wrong. Yeah, you felt it, right?
I was like, I don't want him to die necessarily.
No.
But like, okay, punch him a few times.
Teach him a lesson. Because he's like a wealthy, rich boy.
Right.
So you wanted him to
Pays
learn
his
a
way out of
lesson.
everything. And I don't know, Perry.
And
you get on my nerves.
His investigator, that really got me with the private
The PI,
investigator. Yeah. Why are you all sitting in there talking? You need to be out. You know when Ray when Ray gets there, he's doing
what
something
was he
crazy.
waiting
Can't you guys go to
for?
Earth Cafe, talk it out a little bit, something?
some-
Right, you guys are in the
Green tea.
Los Feliz area. There's home restaurant. There's so many
Yeah.
opportunities. So many great restaurants in that area, and they totally didn't. They passed up on that.
Perry,
He went
you
to
kind of seem like a
Alfred's, got
hipster.
some coffee.
Yeah.
Right? Boba tea.
Come on.
It was an Alcove Cafe. We're just naming stuff. We're so LA. We are being so LA.
Now, is it just me? Is it just me, or did Ray go in this episode from being creepy and increasingly creepy to kind of manic, like really?
Psychopath.
Yeah, it went from like, I'm Ray, I'm gonna creep you out, to
Okay.
like, hey, I'm Ray. Right, exactly.
That's what made him psychopath, was the manner in which he was killing people. Like, it's one thing to push, shove Perry, or hit him in the face, but when he went to the real estate guy's house and took the pot and started slamming it in that's when he transitioned into manic psychopathic
Yeah, yeah.
with the pot.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Oh, but still.
There was another object he used later
Tonight?
too. Yeah.
Whatever is close in Ray's reach is what Ray uses.
Pretty much
to-
whatever's like heavy and bat shaped or something.
If we look at this table, what will Ray use to
God.
The mic.
or the cup?
He would use our phone.
Yeah,
the iPhone
really.
6 Plus.
Yeah, this
I like how the way episodes before this, we've heard that Perry's father is like helping the cops,
Right.
and then he just completely turned the page on that one. He's like, yeah, I'll help you guys, and Perry's freaking me out, to like, I'm gonna hire a PI and tell him to get the hell out.
But why were they waiting? What were they waiting for? What
was
the
waiting?
The PI and Perry. When they were sitting in the motel room, were they waiting for Ray to get back, or?
I don't think so. I think it was just like the PI was taking his time. And by the way, the PI's name is Gene. Gene was taking his time kind of talking to Perry to kind of talk him into leaving with him. And I think he was kind of waiting also from some kind of verdict from the dad, because they're sitting there for a while before he gets some kind of call from Perry's dad, Mr. Whitley, by the way.
Well, I think what was happening was that he was waiting to hear back from Perry's father
On what
That's
they
what I
should
mean.
do.
on
Yeah.
what the next move was going
Yeah,
to
that's
be.
what I mean.
Okay.
And I think but they could have done this once again at Alcove Cafe.
Right.
They could have gone to where you suggested, to where anywhere. They didn't have to
number
wait.
of places.
They should have left. But then again, if they did, then the Perry storyline.
Yeah, and the PI wasn't very armed. He wasn't very ready to go.
Very
wasn't
casual.
like-
Very
yeah.
casual.
Like a retired detective,
Totally.
just making some extra money.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad because it didn't end very well for him.
Yeah.
Ray killed him.
Yeah, dead.
And it was sad because then they showed a picture. This was what got me. Why did they have to take it there? They showed the picture of him and his daughter.
I know.
I
Come
know.
on.
They,
Like, really? Did they have to do that?
I guess so. They really didn't, though. I guess it was like, for me, because and we'll get into this bit in just a second. We're introduced to Vicky Gregg in this episode, and we'll get into her character in just a minute. But I think that was a excuse for us to learn a little bit about her, because she says, well, he had a daughter, or was it a daughter or son?
Daughter.
He had a daughter, and that just pisses me off. It's like,
So it's
okay,
kind
so
of
there might be
showing her
some kind
compassion?
of, yeah, so there's something there. That was probably why they wrote it in there, but I was still upset by it. Like,
I could have done without that. I think her helping Beth was more showing her compassion and her love, because you could see how emotionally invested she was into the case for Beth, to really help Beth out as a friend. So I have to disagree with you.
Well, okay.
Sorry.
That's what we're here for, to agree and disagree.
I just always like it when we just agree.
It's far less interesting, Jade. Trust me. So, by the way, Jamie McShane played Greg in the episode. Great job, Jamie. And Mira Sorvino played Vicky Gregg. Now, Vicky Gregg taking over for Beth in command. I love that, by the way. That phrase, I've been relieved of my command. Like, I hope that I get an excuse in my life to say something like that. Hopefully not the relieved part, but like, I'm going to be taking command of this broadcast. Like, what? It just sounds so awesome.
You kind of are commander tonight.
You are.
Yeah.
I don't
We're
know.
letting you have this one.
Well, thank you. What did you guys think, Vicky Gregg? What do you think of her?
I liked Vicky Gregg off the back. Because she made it clear that she wasn't replacing Beth when Beth offered her her office.
Very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. And she told the team right away, I could tell this is a family unit, and we're going to use that to her advantage. So I felt like she was a really strong leader without being overbearing or trying to, shift any of the dynamic too much.
Yeah.
And I love that she really, if you're going to replace Beth, you're going to have to find somebody that can really replace Beth. And she was FBI, best-selling author, just so many stars and stripes on her resume that you felt comfortable with her taking over. Because at first you can see how the team was like, I don't know about her. And then they say, oh, no, she's legit.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have someone taking over the case and for Beth to fall back, she has to be like that character.
Yeah, she's like calling the White House.
Yeah.
She's like making it happen.
And making threats.
Oh, the NSA. Yeah, she called it NSA.
It was like...
By the way, I know this is a weird analogy, but I'm pretty sure that the real life character of Vicky Gregg would be played by Jade Howard. Because as soon I'm watching the show, and it's a compliment, because I'm watching the show and I'm seeing this conversation with Vicky calling the guy from the NSA, and she's like, listen, John, it's not a hidden threat. I'm putting it out there on the table. You owe me this. We're going to make it happen. I see Jade doing that same thing. Like, I'm not secretly threatening you. I'm actually threatening you.
I see
Help
that.
me out.
Let's call you Vicky.
Yes, that's actually what my
We're gonna
parents were
call her
thinking of
Vicky.
naming me.
No way, really?
No.
I'm glad you're Jade.
You are convincing.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
See, she commanded that. She's
See how I took over? Cam, I'm going to be relieving you of your command. I'll be taking over.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Vicky. Don't use my office, please.
Black out that camera.
Oh, no, I'm going to use your office, and I'm going to put my feet up on your desk.
Ooh,
And I'm going to leave crumbs. Blueberry muffin.
At Broadcast Asylum on Twitter says, loved seeing Mira Sorvino on the show tonight. Thank you for the tweet, Broadcast Asylum. We all love seeing her tonight.
I know, it was nice. I was like, oh, I know that face.
Hashtag ABTV Stalker if you'd like to be a part of the convo.
Join on in, guys. Join on in.
Let's talk again about the PI, Gene, getting shot up in the hotel. We saw it coming. I saw it coming. Did you guys see it coming?
Definitely. They were in there for too long. I knew somebody was going to die.
That part was a little circumstantial in the sense that it was like waiting to die.
Can we laugh at how Perry tried to run out?
Yeah.
Oh,
we are
come
allowed to
on,
laugh
Perry.
at that.
You really thought you were gonna make away?
I mean,
Like,
at that
no
point,
way,
Yeah.
Perry.
Perry should have had a gun on him by that point. I mean, Ray had a gun. He was just chilling in the motel the whole time. I'm thinking, like, Perry, like, pepper spray, something. Like, you're not negotiating anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
the way
Right.
he ran, it was he just skipped.
He was,
Yeah, it was like, what's your actual plan, man? Like, what's your backup plan? Like you were
he
saying,
was
no pepper
still
spray, no
trying to
weapon.
maintain what little control he had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, still, like, I got you out of the crazy house. And Ray was very direct, like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah,
I never cared. You fool.
I kind of wish they would have never cut Ray's hair, because I think he'd be even creepier with it.
Yeah, he looks. When they showed the flashback of his mugshot, I was thinking that he looks really creepy with long hair.
Or do you think, Jade, that he's creepier clean cut because he seems like a friendly person and he's actually creepy?
Honey, I don't think hair or no hair. He's crazy. It doesn't really matter to me. Crazy is crazy. It's like having an ugly personality. You can be as beautiful as you want. You could have the most beautiful bone structure, but if you're mean, you're just gonna see ugly. So he's crazy. That's all I see was crazy. All I saw on him was crazy.
Fair. That's a fair point.
I agree.
That is a fair point. Let me just take a break from the convo really quick and remind everybody to subscribe to our podcast, AfterBuzz TV's Stalker, in iTunes and SoundCloud, and pretty much anywhere where you can get a podcast. We have an app, AfterBuzz TV, website, AfterBuzzTV.com.
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that. We can subscribe. And what happens when we subscribe, Jade? What happens to people's phones when they subscribe?
It's so crazy.
Break it down for us.
Okay, so when you subscribe, then you're actually able to get alerts and notifications of when your favorite shows are coming. I know.
We stalk your phone.
We stalk your phone.
That's exactly what goes down.
That's all that happens.
Tracy comes back tonight. She came back tonight in full force. Were you guys expecting to see Tracy again?
I was not expecting to see Tracy back, but I was glad to see her.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was, for Beth's sake. I was glad to see Beth's friend back in there.
Back in the trunk? Is that what you mean?
Poor thing. Can you imagine just waking up in somebody's trunk? And then I love how she was trying to sweet talk Ray.
Yeah.
Into thinking that.
Okay, there's something I do want to clarify with the Tracy in the trunk. Is chloroform. Chloroform?
Chloroform, yeah.
Okay, I kind of know what it is, and I've seen enough Datelines, and I was actually going to Google it, but I was like, no, because if something ever happens, then chloroform is going to be on my Google. So can you clarify exactly what... I want to know what it's supposed to be used for, because everyone on Dateline uses it to kill people.
Well, let me look it up. I'll look up some chloroform
I
for you.
think I know what it's
so you're
used
gonna
for.
Google it on your...
You tell us what you think, and I'm going to give you the...
It's used to, it knocks you out. It doesn't kill you, so you'll pass out.
Okay.
So you're not aware. So it puts you to sleep.
What is it supposed to be used for?
What is the purpose of its creation?
Why, yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
It's for knocking people out, Cameron.
I think it's for your car or to mop your floors.
Oh, that's two totally different things. It's to kidnap people.
Apparently, according to this, and it could be wrong because I'm reading it quickly, it's used in the chlorination partially in the chlorination of drinking water, and the page just changed on me. Regardless, it's used to clean things, so pools, drinking water, things like that.
Mop your
I think
floors.
it's a part of a chemical.
Chlorine. Aha.
Chloroform,
So
chlorine.
in small doses, it's okay, because if it's in the pool or cleaning supplies, then we're exposed
But in
to
concentrated form, you passing out, girl.
Breathing, it's probably not. Yeah.
But you said it can't kill you.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
I feel like high schoolers or college kids would have tried this if it can kill you.
Probably.
It's
Yeah.
Pixie Sticks, chloroform.
And probably in extremely large doses it can do harm, but
yeah, I'm sure if you consumed it, I'm pretty sure it's not going to give you energy like Popeye
Yeah.
does with spinach.
I wonder if it does any damage, though, because he just took it to her mouth and then...
probably
Well, it gave you-
short term only, I think.
Yeah, and then
We'll try it on you next week, Cam.
By the way, the views and opinions expressed by us do not reflect those of
No.
scientists and or AfterBuzz TV.
that discllmer, I love it.
And I was just kidding about using it on camera.
I hope so.
Or was she?
We get a call from Ray saying Tracy's in the trunk of my car. He didn't really say it, but we know that it's happening because we see it. He talks to Beth / Michelle, and essentially makes it real, makes it more real for her. We all thought, we see Ray and Tracy in the trunk and Perry in the trunk eventually get to the junkyard where kind of a big scene goes down. And we all expected to see, I think I'm okay in saying that, Michelle / Beth and Ben go after Ray. We thought that was going to happen. I'm kind of surprised that it didn't. I kind of wish that it did.
Oh,
Why?
you mean we thought her and Ben were going to escape and go to the junkyard?
And go to the junkyard to save Tracy. I kind of thought it should have happened.
Well, you know, Stalker, when you think something should have happened,
I
it's
know.
the opposite.
It's not gonna happen, baby.
I know. But
Don't roll your eyes at us like that, Cam.
It was interesting to see Beth. It was interesting to see Beth, and we've talked about this a lot tonight, but it was interesting to see her kind of break down a few times. I mean, she kind of snaps at Jack towards the end of the show tonight. I wrote down the hashtag Beth flips out, if you guys want to use that. And hashtag Beth gets freaked out, as opposed to hashtag Beth gets real.
Because Beth wasn't getting. Well, actually, she was kind of getting real.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, but I feel like she was the most vulnerable in this episode.
Yeah.
Because when she in the first
That
scenes,
kind of
going
real.
back
Okay.
with Amanda, she broke down and told Amanda the story, right? That's how we learned about her past with Ray and the family. So she opened up about that. Then she was in the room with Jack, and she said, my whole life is going to be exposed in a few hours, you know, about her family burning in the fire. So I feel like she did get the most vulnerable in this episode, and even the way the episode opened up, which we didn't talk about, but that dream that she had, and Ben like busted into her bedroom. I was like, whoa, Ben, she could be like
I thought that too. I was like, oh, I'm exposed.
It's actually interesting because it was a premonition that she had.
Right.
Because Ben was there to protect her. Ray comes into the house, and that's how it ends. Ben is protecting her, and Ray comes into the house.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And then she snapped a few times, so I feel like this was the most.
And I mean, hey, I think she's entitled to snap a little bit. But I agree. I liked to see that.
I did too.
It
That's
makes
what I'm
it
saying. It's
realistic.
humanizing.
Yeah, it humanizes her character.
She always does kind of hold it together, though, when Ray calls. And the one thing that I always thought she would kind of do differently is talk sweeter to him, like, oh, hey, Ray, where are you? Can we meet up? But every time Ray calls, she's like, where's Tracy? Is Tracy okay? Where are you at? And
We see her try that a little bit, though. She tried it a tad, and he says, don't do that.
Oh, about the song.
Yeah.
They were reminiscing about the song and everything.
Yeah.
So I think she knew that she had to. She knew she had to keep it real with
she couldn't
him
be
to
fake.
keep him on the phone. Because if he would have sensed it, and then
He'd been like, no.
no, that's not the Michelle I know.
That
Oh, yeah, he's trying to kill Beth to get Michelle back.
Right.
Yes.
we've said this before in the show, but that thought of having to, and it's been successful in the past. It wasn't with her and Ray tonight, but the thought of having to talk sweetly to somebody who's stalking you to save the situation, to save a friend, save yourself,
That's
whatever.
stalking you? How about someone
That
that's
is
killed
like
your
such
family?
an uncomfortable. I know.
Yeah.
And it's like that thought is. Ugh, I don't like it. I don't know that I could do it. I could probably do it, but
If someone's life was at stake,
Right, I
I'm
could
pretty
probably
sure
do
you
it for
can
that reason.
show a little face.
but not a fun thought to think about. So what do you guys think of what went down in the junkyard? A lot went down in the junkyard.
I love.
Okay, where's the junkyard in LA? Did they say where that was?
It was in the
valley.
valley.
Oh,
Of course,
okay.
in the valley.
The valley.
And like we have Teslas here and Maserati. I've never seen those cars.
Once again, hashtag stalker gets so LA.
Yeah, very true though. Yeah, there's a lot of LA references in the show.
I love that though.
I do too, but I wonder how that plays to people who aren't from here.
We were
sometimes.
talking about that before. How
Yeah.
does somebody like way out of California?
I don't think it's that. I mean, I watch shows about New York, and I don't live there, but I still appreciate them.
Yeah, I mean, I think people still appreciate
But you
it.
mean like
but,
the Chatsworth and the Soul
Yeah,
Cycle?
and like coming before when I watched a show before living here, and somebody said, "Oh, they're in the valley," like I didn't even think twice about what that meant. Now there's like this connotation about, "Oh, they're in the valley at a junkyard."
Right.
Stuff's really gonna go down there. You know what I mean?
I feel
It's
like there's
interesting.
enough shows about LA. They're like the Kardashians live in the valley. They live
Yeah.
and Bravo too. I feel like there's enough shows around LA now that viewers are like, oh yeah,
That's probably true.
where
Yeah.
so and so lives.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways,
interesting.
the junkyard scene.
Yeah. Ooh. Again, Perry. I mean, I was happy in a way that he tried to save Tracy.
Me too.
It was successful a
Well,
little
it
bit.
was his redemption, which I
Yeah.
think was
Yes.
good to see because Perry don't make it.
Well, we don't know for sure. But let's be honest. I don't think Perry and Amanda are going to have the same fate. He's going down, I'm pretty sure.
Amanda got lucky.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so when Tracy was starting to rip the duct tape off, did Harry see that? Did
Yes.
they make? Okay,
Yeah.
so he was in on that. Okay,
Like,
that's-
run!
right.
Yeah, and he really paid the price on that one.
Yeah, he was. He stuck to it.
And
I gotta give him that.
Yeah, no, that was humanizing for him because he kind of okay, maybe he is a real person.
There was a lot of humanizing. I feel in this episode.
People were so human.
It was like so human and like it was like human overload.
But that, and I'll just reiterate.
So cry.
I'll reiterate what we were saying earlier, which is that's I think why we liked tonight's show a lot because it was one storyline. Ultimately, and it was something we really kind of were extremely invested in, as opposed to this one-time character for tonight is being stalked, and we're going to forget about them next week.
Right.
You know, we've built the relationship in our heads with these characters. Tracy runs under the car, hides under the car. He pulls her out. That was scary, and hides her in a Chevelle, which I guess was part of the first date with Michelle.
Okay.
Which I don't understand that whole thing.
Okay, the thing about that was, did he go like scout this junkyard for
How did
this
he know?
car?
Right.
Do you know? Did you have the keys? How did you get the trunk to open? How did y'all find that in the? It's a junkyard at night. Get out of here.
Right. Does he have a Valley connection?
Someone from the Val. Well, that was the thing. I feel that. Excuse me. I feel that it really became really TV for me at that point. There.
Yeah.
You know, it's like something like, okay, well, it's television or it's a movie.
Right.
That's why it's not going to make sense. But for the sake of it's a story. It's not realistic. It's not, or it could be realistic, but it's not reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to like step outside of that. But I was still thinking, how in the world did they find that? Did he find the car to put her in there?
Yeah.
That was weird.
I mean, he would have to go there and spend many a days.
Or maybe he
looking.
called. Let your fingers do
I
the
don't
walking.
know. Exactly.
Yeah.
And your voice do the
I
talking.
know what you mean, though, and it's an interesting experience and an odd thought to have when you're watching a show, thinking because it is a conscious thought where you go, oh well, it's a TV show.
Right, I have to remind myself. It's TV. You're being entertained.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself that a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and then but at the same time, there's like real life themes, and so it's like this is. I feel awkward. I don't know what to believe.
I'm so confused.
I'm so confused. Should I get in a trunk? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I was happy to see her alive.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I was happy to see her live, but did you guys expect this to be a diversion? I did.
Did you?
I did.
I didn't. I honestly was like, wait, where's the scene with Harry in the trunk?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go into a part 2.
From last week's preview that we saw.
Right.
The only reason I thought that this was coming, whenever they started looking into the trunk and finding her and everything, was because Ray, earlier on in the episode, made it very clear that he knew exactly how to play her.
Right.
And so I figured, okay, well, this is all,
Play
and it
Tracy
was all
or Beth?
Play Beth.
Okay.
And so it was like it's all kind of going too smoothly in terms of the police finding them.
I did think that, well, I guess Pat, a little bit before that, I thought there was something really eerie about just Ben and Beth being like, Ben is like the most junior detective and sending Ben with Beth. I'm like, something's going to happen at the house.
Well, I also, I still feel like, though, that Ben protecting Beth didn't really stir anything for me, like think, oh, this can't be good. But I do remember Beth having the conversation and saying that this is going to be a game.
Sure, right, yeah.
Yeah, you remember she specifically said to Jack, but that's what made her so upset.
Right.
Was that it was a game.
I don't know. I just see Ben as kind of like...
I didn't think that was a diversion, though.
I just see like Ben as not a diversion, but I just felt like something was off. Like Ben is like, hey Ben, can you get me a Coke?
Yeah, like why would they say exactly? Ben, you're doing a great job as a police officer, but I could really use some Trident.
Yeah.
Right
Ben,
now.
did you get my cell phone, my BlackBerry bill covered? Did you do my expenses, Ben?
Right.
Yeah, I see Ben as that guy. So I'm like, why would you send... if they sent Jack home, I never would have thought anything of it.
Oh, poor
I'd have been
Ben.
like, Beth is good, like Jack is with her.
Right.
But like Ben,
Well, I thought when they said Ben, go with her. Oh, and make sure the unit is with her as well. Comes with you guys as well.
Yeah.
That's when I thought, man, that unit is not going to stand a chance.
Yeah.
Ben is like, go with your sister. Make sure she's okay.
Ben, can you show them to the bathroom, Ben?
You
They
guys
don't know where
leave
they're
Ben
at. This is a new
alone.
office.
Can Ben live? Can Ben live? No.
Ben, we love you, but guess what? You should really stick to the internship program.
He's Ben the Page.
He's part of the NBC page
He's not
program.
even a real detective. He's a page.
We even when she was explaining everyone's posts, like what they did, Detective 1.
Yeah.
right.
Rookie.
Right.
Yeah.
Newbie.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, there's something off.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Well,
Ben.
and the scene is Ben getting shot, unfortunately.
So I love how we're making fun of Ben for.
Yeah, the guy who gets shot.
Oh, and then guess what happens to Ben? He gets shot.
Right.
After all that.
Yeah.
I mean, but why did he open the door? I knew something was off. I
Yeah.
mean, we all did at that point because Jack had already made the calls.
Right.
But
I
it
think
was
that
just
further
like-
supports the opinion that he should be getting coffee for people.
Right. And then you just open the door. You better check that peephole. Does that face look familiar? Does that
I
look like
wonder-
someone
Yeah.
that was in the squad car?
Yeah, what happened to the peephole policy?
Yeah, I wonder if when this happens and someone goes into protective custody, if they, I know on a lot of shows we see they get detail around their house, but I almost feel like they should go to a hotel or something.
Well, I even
So
said
Right,
that.
yeah.
Their house, why would they be in their house?
Well,
Yeah.
that was the thing that grinded my gears because you know it's hot. It's hot on these streets for Beth right now.
Right.
Why aren't we sending her to a hotel or to a friend's
She go to the montage, the
She could-
Four Seasons,
Jack's house?
A safe
Yeah.
room.
Right.
something.
Back to the
Concrete
station.
box.
Like I was
Yeah.
been. Let's go back to the station.
Yes, stay at the station
agree.
or
Yes.
something.
I agree. Or like Amarillo, Texas. Get the hell out.
Right.
Right.
San Diego. She could have went to San Diego.
Yeah.
Tijuana. She could go
Any
somewhere.
number of places is where Beth could have
She
gone.
could have came to the AfterBuzz TV studios.
Sure. Well, how's you? We got a couch.
Exactly.
Your friend Mariana Claveno has sat on the couch before.
Yeah.
She's been on the show.
She sat on
could sleep
that
here.
couch.
Oh, Ben gets shot. We're so sorry that Ben got shot, and clearly Janice is especially upset when when her and Jack come to the house and Ben. Beth gets taken. We see her in the trunk at the end. She turns. She flashes the light. It's Perry.
Eyes wide open. Wide open.
Now, let me ask you the question all of our listeners are wanting to know, and the question I want to hear the answer to is Perry dead?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you guys think so?
Yes.
He was too frozen.
I mean,
looking.
unless they open up next week's episode with a blink.
Right. I need to
That'd
see
be
a
really
blink.
freaky.
There was no blink of Perry. Perry is gone.
We didn't talk about this, but when he got knocked out, when Ray knocked him out on the car and just like slammed him a bunch of times and then kicked him off the car like nothing at the junkyard.
Yeah.
He looked dead then.
See, I didn't even
did,
see
yeah.
that scene. I had
Looked like a rag
I was
doll.
covering my face.
You were scared.
I was scared.
Yeah, noticeably so. And
I was
it's
petrified.
With Amanda last week, she was knocked out. Okay, her eyes, so I couldn't tell. But Perry, this end scene, he looked dead.
I think so too. But the thing is, I don't know. I'm so torn because I kind of thought Amanda was gonna die a little bit, but she didn't. But this one we see the
Cameron,
eyes wide open.
yeah.
But maybe like the beginning of next week's
He's
episode
like-
number 18, he'll just be like, "Oh, hey Beth, is Ben coming? Did you bring coffee? I need some coffee, Beth.
like,
Where's
If
Ben?"
Ben is dead, I think it's so inhumane that Ray didn't at least like take his hands, and
Wait,
Right.
Perry?
and like and just go like this so his eyes could be closed.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no way Ray's doing that.
Oh my God.
Ray has no soul.
Wait, but is Ben dead? Did you ask if Ben is dead?
Ben? No, Ben's
not
alive.
dead.
Ben's
You think
alive.
Ben's
They
gonna make
revived.
it?
Yeah, Ben's gonna make. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Ben.
I like how Cam knows this. He has the
Come on.
ends. He's
Yeah.
got the inside
Hey,
scoop.
it's
He's
Ben.
like, he's totally. He's
Come on,
totally-
Jen. It's Ben.
Yeah.
The first detective is definitely alive.
Let me ask you this:
the fetch it boy.
who else would get coffee for everybody?
Yeah.
He has to live. There's no choice.
Oh.
Melissa May Waldron on Twitter at Melissa94MW. Thanks for listening. Says yes. Perry is dead, but hopefully not because being in a trunk with a dead body would suck. It's so true. Thank you for the tweet.
Like, how long are you going to be in there for with that dead person?
I know.
Because don't they say when someone dies, like, they release...
Okay, but
So, like, to be
Some
stuck in
smells,
the trunk...
but like for 4.5 minutes later, that doesn't start happening.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. I hope not.
I would say Google it, but that's probably not it.
don't Google chloroform and dead body in the trunk.
Yeah,
Don't
what
do
happens?
it.
Not good.
We're asking people to Google. So again, if using opinions expressed, specifically like
exactly.
Jade Howard this time, do not reflect those of AfterBuzz TV.
Well, a girl wants to know, but she's scared to Google it.
But also,
man.
too, think about this. Not only is it a dead body, but it's a guy that used to stalk you. And she doesn't know that Perry wasn't really in, like, she doesn't know that he was as in over her head. So it's like a stalker to her.
I think she knows that Perry was a little in over his head now that she's dead in the trunk.
Now she knows, but still, it's like still a guy who stalked. I mean, Perry started this whole thing.
Yeah.
Perry's the one who got Ray out.
Yeah,
And now he's
let's paint that picture a little bit. How much are you regretting that decision, buddy?
Yeah, talk about biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
Or frees you.
Or freeze you. Biting the hand that frees you.
So does Ray want to kill Beth?
They said he does.
Yeah.
That's what they said, but
That's
he wants
what
to kill Beth to
Vicky
get
says.
Michelle back.
Yes.
So he doesn't really want to kill her. He wants to kill everyone around her that makes her Beth and have Michelle vulnerable. Right.
I don't
That's
know,
not a
though.
prediction.
That's
That was just like a metaphor
Oh.
that I was saying. I'm smart.
Anna gets deep.
I wasn't just talking. That was accidentally an inspirational quote. So, I mean, take it for what it is.
I'm going to post that on my Instagram tomorrow.
I'm practically Gandhi. So we have a few more tweets about tonight's episode before we get into news and gossip, reading your comments from last week.
Hey.
We have Gavin Tran who says, if Stalker was renewed for season 2, how will the story go on? What do you guys think?
I'm going to say there's going to be more stalking cases.
This is predictions now.
Or just about Beth.
Not quite yet, just in general.
I think they're going to move on.
Yeah.
And find something else to focus on, maybe.
Instead of the Perry.
Yeah, I definitely think that'll definitely be. I don't think they're going to do anything where they're repeating another stalking case of the police. You know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you.
Maybe something dramatic, something maybe in their someone's personal life will come out.
Yeah, like somebody else on the force.
Oh, it'd be cool. Someone have like a drug addiction.
Oh.
Ben.
I've been putting meth in the coffee. What?
Ben's
Oh my
been
God,
putting,
Ben!
He's been putting that
What the hell?
Molly
Shoot him
in
again.
in his champagne. No. Yeah. I remember naming off drugs here. What have we become?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
Like chemicals, dead bodies, and talking drugs.
Mr. Gavin.
Wait, I had one for that one.
Go ahead, yeah.
It was short.
Go for it. It's fine.
The world is your oyster, darling.
Time in the world. You don't.
Not all the time. You eventually do want to go home and go to sleep, Cam.
I have another metaphorical thought. I think they're gonna focus more on Jack if the show continues to go on, more of Jack's backstory.
Jack and Amanda, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe some Ethan in there.
Or maybe a little love triangle with Beth.
Trent.
Oh, look out, Trent. Oh God, get that guy out. I hate Trent. Well, he's okay.
Trent can't live.
Better than Ben.
Anyway.
One more tweet, Gavin Tran, about tonight's episode again, using hashtag ABTV Stalker. He says, throughout the season, guessing the previous 3 episodes, did anyone see a connection between Beth and Jack? I think we did. I think we
Like
have seen a connection. Yeah, I think we've
For
seen the
sure.
connection.
When she came out in her 90s and he was in his underwear, there was a connection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Any last thoughts about tonight, guys?
I'm ready for some YouTube comments.
Let's do some news and gossip.
Hey.
AfterBuzz TV News.
That's prediction
God.
Oh,
dance.
sorry.
Morbid YouTube comment. By the way, you can comment by going to the YouTube channel AfterBuzz TV, or you can just search Stalker AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. It's super easy. A morbid comment to start with from JCCAOL username, who says, I have the bad feeling that everyone will get killed except Beth and Jack. Ugh. I know this is a bad prediction, but it's not looking good.
Dang.
Harsh.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, God. She also, he/she, I don't know, also said, when I heard the cult leader's name was Abraham, that was not very original. Agreed. Abraham is potentially the worst. Brittany Kitchens, who we shouted out for listening for the first time last week.
Hey, girl. Hey, Brittany. We'll shout you out again.
She said, thanks for the shout out. I don't think any of them will be killed, the family, meaning Ben and Janice and Jack and Beth, only because the producers and creators of the show want them to last longer than one season. Okay. Kaima.tv says, poor Perry is going down. Great panel discussion. Couldn't agree with you more.
And thank you.
And he did go down. So good prediction on you. And that's about it. That's about it for the comments. So thanks for commenting.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
We love it when you do that.
Also, I have one thing that before you close out. Jade and I were talking about this, but our detective Ben, our beloved Victor Rasuk, is that how you say his last name? Was in 50 Shades of Grey, which came out on Saturday, Valentine's Day.
Yes, he was.
Very nice.
So it was, seriously, this is really funny because we do this show every week, but when I first saw him, I was like, that guy looks so familiar on the screen. And then I was like, Ben! And then every time they called him Jose, I was like, no, his name is Ben.
Ben.
It's in the middle of a quiet theater, and he just appeared. Ben! Everybody's like, what? Ben is already, he's by here. He's eating the popcorn.
Yeah.
Also,
wrong Ben.
stay tuned for finding out if the show is renewed or not for second season. We don't know yet. So
Fingers
cross
crossed.
the fingers. We'll see what happens. Let's move in really quickly. We kind of went over some of them, but just recap our predictions for next week.
Now it's time.
Now it's time for the predictions. We're raising the predictions.
I have to do my own. I have to change it up a little bit.
Ooh, okay. I have to do
Be creative. Anastacia Waller,
like
hit
this.
me with your predictions.
Okay. Predictions. Okay.
Jade Howard, hit me up.
Predictions.
So Beth and Ray are going to go at it somehow. It's going to come down to them two.
Yeah.
And Beth is going to use her Muay Thai that we've seen in a few of the episodes to kick his butt.
Is that a drink?
Wait, Muay Thai? Muay Thai. Muay Thai.
No, Mai Tai is a drink, and it is
What's Muay Thai?
delicious.
Muay Thai is fighting. That's what she trains
Oh,
in the
that's
kickboxing.
right.
Remember? You remember that
Okay.
scene when she was like, I don't want to hurt you, and Beth was like,
yeah.
I won't.
Yeah, I remember.
Or you won't. Okay, so I feel like that it's gonna come between them two, and she's gonna be kicking his butt, and then last minute Ray's like about to kill her, and then Jack is going to save the day,
Okay. Per usual.
and Perry's
Beth.
dead. That's also my prediction.
Okay.
I agree with everything that she said.
Wow. Whoa.
Is that? I just agree with you, girl.
That's
Just
okay.
agree.
Go.
Can I agree with her?
You can just agree
Can
with
she?
it.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have more.
Okay, go.
There
go.
was more coming.
Hit
I just
me.
had to,
Had to establish that front. Okay.
Thank you. Before I relieve you of your command. Careful, Cam. No, I was going to say that I think that Ben is going to live.
Okay, yeah.
I want to add to that. I think
Yeah,
Ben's
yeah.
going to make it.
I
think I don't know if he'll make it this next episode. They might make us drag that one out and have him on like life support. And,
I thought you were going to say, I don't know if he'll make it to season 2. I was like, well, frankly, we don't know if anybody will. But we'll find out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the way that they're doing this storyline, I can see CBS giving them a second shot.
Yeah.
For a second season, just to see, because sometimes shows need more than one season to really develop, or networks really need to invest a little bit more into promoting it. For example, there's a show called Castle on ABC, and it had horrible ratings, but ABC took their time with like marketing and pitching it more, and then became a top show for the network.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes with a good show, the networks know that they have something really solid with a good cast and producers and writers. They can give it another shot. And, so that always happens too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, I think.
This one, we're here for 22, right? This season.
Yeah, I believe
We're on
so.
17.
I thought it was
Okay.
20.
I'm pretty sure it's 22. I think we...
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Even
sure.
better.
Yeah.
Yay.
Get to see me at least for a couple more, Jay. I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to say, I for the most part agree with you guys. I'm pretty sure that Perry's gonna be dead, unfortunately. I think also somehow Amanda is gonna get involved in next week. I don't know how yet, but I think she's gonna get involved in like Beth's case.
I hope those dark circles go away.
Yeah. Ooh.
They look rough.
Not a good situation.
We can fix that in LA really
Yeah,
easily.
real easily. Just a little
concealer, little contouring,
a little contouring, but a little highlight by the brow bone. You'll be fine, girl. You never know. Just distract attention from it. It'll be fine.
I think that's it for us tonight, you guys.
It is.
I think that's it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's sad when we have to end.
I know, it's
but
weird.
we'll be back here next week. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you, Anastacia?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Anastacia Waller, and also check out my blog, which is www.stayclassyana with 2Ns.com. It's one N, actually, sorry.
And you can find me on Instagram at Jade's World, and you can visit my website at welcometojadesworld.com.
I love it. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Only Camshaft. You can also visit magichourradio.com, which is where I do a show on Thursday nights down on a radio station, Laguna Beach. And you can keep the conversation going on this show. ABTV Stalker is the hashtag. And we will see you all next week.
Stalk you later, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.